started talking to these guys, I didn't know about price and marketing and all that blah, blah, blah stuff. I just know what I wanted. And these guys really sat there and listened to me and actually bought in and drank the Kool-Aid. But these guys got in with me on it, and we made these knives. They're called the Knuckle Sandwich Series, which is the name of my company. But if you haven't checked them out, they're pretty dynamite. That's not a sales pitch. That's just a real deal. So thanks to Ergo Chef and Outset for bringing me here, you guys.
So I wanted to ask, why did you work with Ergo Chef to develop your line of knives? What was the route to them?
Well, when I was getting into this, to just kind of brief, to explain the whole thing, I was a chef and a restaurant owner before the Food Network thing came about.
Okay.
So when it came about, I wasn't really putting all my eggs in that basket about being a celebrity chef. And I'm not still. I mean, I do my other projects and my other efforts. So people say, well, you got to do a knife deal, you got to do a pot and pan deal, you got to do all these different things. I'm like, yeah, okay, you know, as it comes. And when we started talking to some people about stuff, they were like, well, we'll do this, we'll put your name on it. No. I don't want my name just put on something. I want something that really has my style, my attitude, my, you know, the equipment level, and, you know, the quality level, and so forth. And so we were just kind of cruising along with it, and we met. Someone gave me an Ergo knife. I think Mike probably gave me one of the knives at a show in Atlantic City, and I remember taking it home and using it and going, "Wow, I love the feel of this. I love the weight of it. I love it. It was heavy. It was a real strong knife." And I'd broken a few knives. I'm pretty tough on equipment, and I'd broken a few knives and or chipped them, you know. And so I started using that knife. And I remember calling my agent, Jeff Google, with William Morris, and I said, Jeff, track down these Ergo Chef guys. You know, let's see what these guys got going. And that's how it started. And they've been great to work with. I mean, aside of the volume, I mean, I don't know how many knives you're supposed to sell, but we didn't work backwards. We didn't say, okay, well, this is the price point we're going to sell knives at, so we're going to design a knife that can work in that price point. What we did is I said, this is the kind of knife I want. This is the style of knife I want. Can you make it? They said, we can make it. Then they had to go figure out how to sell it. Because it's not a cheap knife. It's not a super expensive knife, but it's not cheap.
Sure.
This is the big stick. This is the first one we started with. And what had to happen with this, just as you have a tennis pro has a tennis racket, a golf pro, a mechanic has a wrench, this had to feel like an extension of my hand. I ride my knife real high. I'm right on top of my knife when I work with it. So I wanted to have a real nice smooth transition. You know, the blade is relieved on both sides, so you don't get the suction. It's got a nice look. You can recognize it in the knife block pretty easily. It's got a little squirt end on the bottom of the carbide crusher. You know, there's just a variety of things, and everything that we do, everything that we've been doing with the Guy Fieri brand and with Ergo Chef has had to have a reason, have a purpose. There's something going on, like why is the knife block the way the knife block is? Everything has got, you know, if it's not necessary, then do we really want to push that hard to have it? So, you know, wanted to make sure that the knife was recognizable in a block. You know, the red handle kind of stands out that way. The scoring on the end of the knife does. So it's been a very organic. You know, we use the term ergo a lot, but this has been a very organic relationship and a very organic development.
Oh, great. Did you design the knives, the handle, the look?
On a cocktail napkin.
Did you really?
Just like they did in NASA.
Yeah.
You know, that's how they built a lot of those lockers. No, I started sending things over. It's actually at my cabin. We don't have any electricity up there, so I was drawing on pieces of paper all these different feelings or different thoughts I had about the knife, and I sent it over to them. And the great thing about these guys is they're as crazy as I am. I send them stuff and I go, okay, let's try it. You know, look at this little knife, the Dragon Dagger.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah, and this thing right here, I think you could cut a Volkswagen bus in half with that.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that thing. But it's a super utility knife. I mean, this is a great bartender knife. Super sharp. Nice little prong piece to it. You know, move the cheese, push the lemon, whatever you got. But it feels really good. And again, it's an extension. So everything that we've done with these guys, I've just really been happy. And you know, even this new stamp knife line that we're going to be coming out with, hopefully by the end of the year, the goal has been to do it with the right quality.
So I polled my readers before I came to see what they wanted me to ask you, and their number one question is, how did you come up with the manly names for your knives?
Oh gosh, that's always the big question of how do things come about.
Yeah.
Everything gets a name, and people get names in our crew and our group of buddies. Everything has a name, everything has a story, and so forth. And so it's kind of, you know, like big stick, you know, the old saying of, you know, walk softly and carry a big stick.
Nice. Yeah.
So there's the big stick. That's the chef knife. That's the number one piece of equipment that I use out of everything that I, you know, use in my kitchen. I probably use that knife more than anything. The paring knife, little Guy, I want to call it Shank,
Nice.
but they wouldn't let me call it Shank. You know, marketing, hodgepodge. You know. So the Dragon Dagger, it reminded me of a little dragon tail, little, you know, a little dragonfly. I don't know why, but it has that feel. Chopper, the Santugo is super chopper. I mean, it's just there. It's built for speed. You're gonna knock out vegetables and stuff. It's right there. And then that's it. And then the new one, the Beast. I mean, where do you find? This must be 10, 15 pounds.
Yeah,
you know, if you're on the catch.
Yeah, well, I was gonna-
No, it's a good pound.
Wow.
What a nice big piece of steel.
Yeah.
You know, when you're trying to break down some chicken, or you're working on some vegetables. I mean, it's a piece of equipment.
I'm sure you can hack some bones with that. Wow.
Exactly.